Hello and welcome to the weekly Global Heartstream. I'm Gabriel Gonzalez, a professional coach, artist, and speaker who enjoys traveling the world, connecting with amazing people, and talking about the longest, most rewarding journey that you'll ever embark on, the 12-inch journey between your head and your heart. Through individual and group coaching programs, online courses, and live seminars, I teach a heart-centered approach to personal mastery, leadership development, and spiritual growth that helps people become the most loving, joyful, and powerful version of themselves. The Global Heartstream is a weekly dedicated space to help you reconnect with your heart, raise your vibrational frequency, and remind you just how powerful, loving, and amazing you already are. It's also an invitation to unify our hearts with the intention of bringing more love, compassion, and healing to a world that so desperately needs it. You can find out more about my work by visiting gabrielgonzalez.com, where you can also sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, and register for my upcoming seminars. And if you enjoyed this Heartstream, please be sure to subscribe, like, or comment so that we can reach more people and help make this a more loving, compassionate, and heart-centered world. Hello and welcome to our Global Heartstream. I'm your host, Gabriel Gonzalez, broadcasting live from this beautiful city of Granada. Today also celebrating the International Day of the Saints, or as it is commonly known, the Day of the Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Celebrating the ability to resurrect in love, no matter what. Welcome, Veronica. Welcome, Cindy. Welcome, Ellen. Welcome, Peter. Welcome, Lush. Welcome, those of you who are also joining us, watching the replay. How are you? How are you feeling about this new month that is just getting started? That just began a couple of days ago. As we embark on a new month, we're going to be also embarking on a new theme. So let me share with you a little bit of what we have in store for this month. This month, we're going to be focusing on the theme of prosperity. Okay, so this came after last month. If you recall, the day in which we were speaking about returning to the source of prosperity, that's when we had all these audio problems. And so that talk was kind of lost. And so I decided to dedicate this entire month of November to speaking about prosperity in order to help you become a more prosperous version of you. So these are going to be the topics that we're going to be exploring each week during the month of November. Today, the theme for today is the source of true wealth. So we're going to be looking at where does true wealth really comes from, but at an individual level. Then next week, November 9th, we're going to be looking at what Jesus said about wealth. Then on November 16th, we're going to be talking about the elephant god of prosperity. You're probably wondering, what? The elephant god? Yes, and this is going to be related to one of my favorite topics on one of my favorite Hindu deities called Ganesha and what it actually represents inside of you. Then on Wednesday, November 23rd, we are going to be looking at the process of removing the inner blocks to wealth. You know, just like love, our journey is not so much in seeking wealth, but actually removing all the internal blocks that keep us from experiencing greater abundance, prosperity, and wealth. And then finally, we'll wrap up the month on November 30th, talking about all the money in the world. We're going to be looking at what is actually currency and to go beyond a definition of money that will sort of bring all the different topics and all the different ideas we'll be exploring during the month. Okay, so this is happening all throughout this month. It's the month dedicated to prosperity. And while we're going through the announcements, I also want to invite you to join me on a new workshop that I'm going to be facilitating next week, Saturday, November 12th, called The Heart of Money. This will coincide also with the launch of a new guided meditation I'm in the process of producing right now called The Heart of Money, basically designed to help you activate these inner forces within you and release the blocks that are keeping you from experiencing the abundance and the prosperity that you truly want to create. So again, this is happening on Saturday, November 12th, and it's an invitation to heal your relationship with money by releasing all unconscious beliefs and emotional blocks that are keeping you from intentionally generating more prosperity of your life. So if you're somebody who keeps putting plans into motion to create money, to attract money, but then nothing happens, this is going to be an opportunity to look under the hood, to look at what it is that is happening inside of you that is negating abundance in your life. So if you're interested in learning more about this workshop or signing up, you will find it at my website. If you go to this link, gabrielgonzalez.com/money. Yeah, here I am. Okay, so welcome Amanda, welcome Danny, welcome those of you who are joining us just now. So as I said a few moments ago, today we're focusing on the source, the internal source of money. Where does it come from? And to illustrate some of the ideas and concepts that I'm going to be talking about during this first 25 minutes of our time together before we do our guided meditation, I want to use some of the slides that are part of the Manifesting from the Heart course. This is a course that pretty much ignited my work as a coach and laid out the foundation for not only what was to come, but also provided me with a very powerful tool that uses the power of emotions, the power of the heart to manifest a reality. In fact, I would say I owe pretty much who I have become and the life that I have created and the practice that I have built, including you being here, to what I teach in this workshop or what I learn in this Manifesting from the Heart workshop. So let me bring up a powerful and amazing slide that gets to the essence of the process of manifestation. So what we have here is, in essence, a reverse. You can think of it as a reverse process of manifestation. Okay, so if you look at all the way to the far right, we're looking at the current results. So you can think of this as how much money you have in your bank account, and whether if your financial goals have been met, whatever it is that may be for you. And by the way, even though we're focusing on prosperity and we're focusing on money, this applies to anything. This applies to your current state of health and well-being. This also can apply to your current relationships, right? Your current experience of relationships and your current level of satisfaction. So on the right-hand side, we have your results, okay, which can be the desirable or undesirable. And what normally precedes those results is some kind of an action that you took or you did not take. There was something that you did or didn't do to create that result. If you, for example, stop watering the plant's going to die. If you overwater the plant, it's going to drown and it's going to get all dark, right? It's the same thing. And so we're looking at then the before or preceding the actions that you take. It normally is the conversations that you're having, whether these conversations are external or they are internal, but nonetheless, they're the conversations that you're having, right, with regards to this thing that you're manifesting. So in other words, if you're constantly saying, relationships are painful and you can't trust man, then guess what's happened? Then you're not going to go out on a date and with a potential amazing partner. And then as a result, you're keeping yourself alone or unavailable. All right. So looking at our conversations, but here is where it boils down to. Where do these conversations come from? What precedes them? Well, what precedes them is really your perception of the world. your view of the world. So I want to introduce you now to something that I call the ladder. Beautifully exemplified or demonstrated or and discussed and explained in Dr. David Hawkins' Power versus Force. Okay, where you can see where you can see where you are at any given level. I'm just getting some messages right now from several of you that you cannot hear me. Let me know if that's still the problem. I think that when I remove my video, I may have then accidentally killed the audio. So apologies for that. Do let me know if you can hear me. And so so your current then experience is related to your positionality, to where you see things right now, how you see things. Okay, thank you very much, Ellen, for letting me know you can hear me now. Okay, so it is related to you where you see yourself in this ladder. And where does your positionality on this ladder, whether if you're high on this ladder or low in this ladder, where does it come from? Well, it really comes from whatever it is that you're holding in your awareness, in your consciousness. What does this actually mean, you may ask? Well, it means whatever it is that you're holding as thoughts and emotions, which is ultimately what we call beliefs, because what we call a belief is nothing more than some kind of an experience that you had that led to certain emotion and then an attached thought about that, like the example that I was given earlier with regards to relationships, right? You have a relationship with somebody and let's say they cheat on you or they mistreat you, and then in that pain, if thought is formulated that says relationships are painful, relationships are not safe, and then right away a belief about relationship arises. So why are we talking about this? Well, because your ability then to experience and attract and create the wealth, the prosperity that you want is directly related to ultimately to what you're holding in your consciousness, in your awareness at any given time. And that means that if you really want to make some changes that will be long lasting in your level of prosperity and abundance, you have to do the inner work. You have to, as I was saying earlier, you have to uncover what are those limited beliefs that you have around money. You have to release any blocked and negative emotions that you may have also associated with money. So, for example, one of the most common negative emotions that are associated with money are the emotions of shame and a sense of unworthiness. Okay, money is an expression of value in our society, and material wealth is also an expression of value. Right? Everything has a price attached to it. And so if you value yourself, you're more likely then to ask the kind of money that you deserve, that you believe you're worth it. But if you feel you're not worth it, if you feel that who you are has no value, then you'll go around giving all your services for free, helping everybody, but being always broke. And then ultimately feeling, like your reality will in essence be constantly demonstrating to you what it is that you're holding internally. So you're like, see, nobody cares about me, nobody values me, and therefore, people don't pay me, people pay me late, or people don't pay me what I would like, or I'm constantly being fired from jobs, or all these things are happening, and these extra bills are coming, and I never have any money, I never have any value. There's something wrong with me. There's something broken with me. I have no value. There's something that I did that I may have done to create this. Okay. And so what does that mean? Well, it means that you then have to, as I was saying a few moments ago, you have to be willing to look under the hood. You have to be willing to look at what it is that you're holding in your awareness that might be the culprit, that it might be what's actually keeping you from attracting, creating the money, or even taking action. Okay, because these things also do get in the way. There is something that some of you may or may not be aware of, that in the field of personal development, it's called competing commitments. Okay, and a competing commitment is in essence a hidden belief that you have about something that you're not aware of. So it lies as a shadow hidden underneath, and is what ultimately keeps you from taking action. So many of us, and I really believe this as a coach who's been working with a lot of people on issues around self-worth, including money. I really believe that if you start taking the necessary actions to start creating wealth, right, the time will come where you will start sabotaging that success. All right. And you'll stop doing the actions that will naturally lead to wealth creation. And you're wondering, like, but why am I doing this? Well, it's because you're sabotaging it. Because deep down, there's a part of you that is misaligned. There's a part of you that feels that you don't deserve it, that you're unworthy for whatever reason. And then sooner or later, it comes back and sabotages you. It bites you literally in the ass. And then you're wondering, like, how did I do this? How could have I created this? Now, why the heart then? Why the heart of money? So that's the title of the workshop I'll be facilitating. Why do we want to look at the heart? Well, because your heart is responsible for the largest electromagnetic field of your body. Right? Your heart is, in essence, what is going to dictate where you are on this ladder of emotion. Okay, so if you look at here once again on the left, your heart will determine your current emotional set point. So if you're vibrating low, if you are vibrating at a lower energy of guilt, shame, anger, etc., right, your electromagnetic field will be small. But the larger your electromagnetic field begins to get as you start moving into the higher level of emotions. And it starts specifically when you start to align with the energy that love nurtures, cares for, and supports all of life. So in this other slide that I have prepared here for you, notice you have this person, and this person is radiating this electromagnetic field. When your electromagnetic field that emanates out of the heart, which is basically your body's electromagnetic field, when it's small, your energy, it's small, your energy is slow, right? And you can feel it when it's like you have no energy to do things. And then therefore your capacity to attract, to identify, to recognize opportunity is diminished. And there's a biophysiological reason for this. Okay, at that moment, your left and your right brain are literally not communicating with each other. But what happens when you begin to expand your electromagnetic field? There's greater connectivity between right and left hemisphere of the brain. And at that moment, you begin to see and recognize opportunities. You begin to also to feel better. You begin to start feeling or creating this inner sense of coherence that the Institute of Heart Math talks about constantly in every book. There's so many practices designed to help you unify heart and mind. And then as this happens, your field expands. And with the expansion of that field comes also the ability to recognize opportunities or to see pathways towards creating the wealth, the money, the abundance, the prosperity that you want. So whatever felt that it was completely out of reach one day, as you expand your awareness, those things start to become available to you. This is what it's exemplify here in this second drawing. You see the little bird was the same distance away. the red bird, but now it's available. And then as you expand your electromagnetic field, your awareness, your consciousness, all this second blue bird that seemed to be out of reach becomes a possibility. So, how can you apply this to your life? Well, think in terms of a certain amount of money that you would like to be creating or earning per month, right? When your field is low and you have a very limited perception of what is possible, you have very little self-worth, self-value, and therefore you don't ask for to be paid what you deserve or what you're worth, right? Then suddenly that amount of money feels like it's outside of your awareness. You see other people earning it, but you don't know how you're going to create that, how are you going to reach that. But then as you begin to grow and expand and you start working at this level, this whatever it is that you're holding as thoughts and emotions and as beliefs, as that grows, as that expands, suddenly what appeared to be impossible to attain or to manifest becomes now your new reality, and so forth, as you can see, as you continue to expand, as you continue to expand and expand and expand even more. So what is the key then to this attraction or this manifestation? It's working at the level of the emotions. Why? Because of what I was sharing earlier, right? The key is to do the inner work that would lead to a shift in consciousness and awareness. And that shift will change our positionality in this ladder, right? Instead of being afraid or feeling unworthy or always feeling like you're always going to run out, etc., you'll be moving into a higher level of vibration or field or even intelligence, I would call it, because each one of these levels is an intelligence and an attractor field at the same time. You begin to align with the energy of love. And love is the energy that nurtures, cares for, and supports all of life. So what we're doing here then, and what we're going to be doing in a few moments when we'll do the guided meditation, is to come into a place where we're using the power of emotion and the power of the focused breath into the heart, the power of intention, to raise our frequency to a higher place on this ladder. And then as a result, our perception shifts. It's what the Institute of Heart Math refers to when it says a change of heart changes everything. Okay, because what changes your perspective, and as your perspective changes, your possibilities also change. So this shift in inner awareness, which is at the level of emotions, at the level of thoughts, at the levels of belief, but more importantly, at the level of vibration, will have an immediate effect in how you perceive the world. As your way of perceiving the world, as you begin to move away from a world that feels like competitive and shark eats shark, and you begin to move and to shift into a way of seeing the world as a world of cooperation, as a world where there are infinite opportunities for expressing your gifts, when you begin to see that we live in an abundant universe, from that space, your inner dialogue, your conversations begin to change. And therefore, then you start to do things differently. And then as a result of that, your results begin to change. It begins to change. Exactly. I'm trying to come up with a synonym for saying that. So that is the process. Greetings, Ben. Welcome. It's great to have you here. I'm always blown away by the presence of men in these circles. Please don't get me wrong. It is, not that I don't appreciate the presence of women. Of course I do. I just appreciate the presence of all of you here. But I've noticed in now more than 12 years. Almost 12, 14 years now since I've been doing this work. There's always been more women doing this kind of work than men. And I was really blown away last Friday. One of the things I've been doing here in Granada for the past year or so, I've been holding these song circles. I've been sharing my medicine for the heart songs. And I really couldn't believe it that the small group that came, there's a group of 12, 10 of the participants were men. And there were only 2 women. I was like, what is going on? Normally, it's completely the opposite. And I think, this is just my personal perspective, is that the work that all the women have been doing up until this time has reached now a tipping point where there's now more and more and more and more men who are coming into their hearts and who are becoming then more balanced. But it's really has been because of the intention of all the women across the planet, all these love warriors. And then as a result, now it's becoming more balanced, which is in essence what the heart and the mind ultimately represent. As you know, the mind represents, think of it as more of a masculine force, where the heart represents the feminine. And so this unity of heart and mind, or a state of wholeheartedness that the course of love refers to, is really nothing more than a balance between the masculine and the feminine. And then as a result, we become way more powerful. All right, well, let's go ahead and start moving now, preparing to move into our meditation time. And during this meditation time together, what we're going to be doing is raising our frequency. Remembering that the way to the heart is always through the body. This is why at the beginning, there's so much emphasis as I'm guiding this process to come into the body, to notice the physical sensations of the body, to notice the breath, to notice the heartbeat, because that begins to move us into the awareness of the emotions, the feelings, and then through there, we begin to tune in and tap to the vibration behind these feelings. And we are able then to arrive into the heart. Why the heart? Well, because your heart is what's generating the majority of this vibratory field that you're paying attention to. Remember that you have a physical heart. That is what most scientists refer to as the pump. But you also have a biochemical heart that is literally a gland that has the capacity to produce hormones and therefore shift and change emotional states. Our emotions are made up of it by these cocktails of hormones. You also have an emotional heart that is the seat of your emotional energy being primarily magnetic energy. So your heart is generating 5,000 times, 6,000 times more magnetism than your brain. And then you have this energetic, also known as spiritual heart within you, which is your connection with the heart of divinity itself, because the source that powers your heart comes directly from the heart of God. You can think of, again, the heart of God as the heart of divinity, the central sun, the heart of Christ. I don't care what you call it. All I care is that you connect with it. All right, let us begin. Let's move now into this heart-aware space. By beginning now to find the most comfortable position right there where you are. Gently closing the eyes and taking a few moments to just notice what it is that is moving through your awareness. As thoughts, as physical sensations, as emotions. Welcoming anything that shows up that you become aware of. We're not trying to change anything. We're not trying to make anything happen. We're just simply going to take about a minute just to tune in into this inner reality that we can perceive through our senses. And we're going to welcome and accept everything that arises. As we witness and observe this inner reality, we also notice the heartbeat. Now we bring a hand over to the middle of the chest, right above that heartbeat. We begin to breathe straight into that heart, imagining as if we could breathe through the heart, inhaling in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Adjusting the rhythm to a rhythm that feels right to you. As we now focus our breath into the heart. As we breathe in and out, we welcome thoughts that arise. We welcome any feelings, any sensations. We simply offer it all to the heart by deeply allowing it. Now we activate the feeling, remembering that the feeling is what creates the emotional, energetic shift. We do this by feeling appreciation, or feeling gratitude, or care. So, would you think about somebody that you deeply appreciate, or someone that you know deeply appreciates or care for you? And then, as you hold this person in your mind's eye, I'd like you to feel that feeling of appreciation. If this person, or it could also be a situation that you're grateful for, it could also be a pet or a small child, whatever it is that you're thinking about, if this does not activate the feeling, just choose something else. But the idea is that as you're breathing in and out of the heart, you activate this feeling and then feel that feeling. allowing yourself to gently draw a little smile. Like you can see sometimes when you see a person and they're smiling, it's like they're thinking about someone they love or a situation that makes them feel good. And that's what we want to go for. We want to activate the feeling. Continuing to breathe in and out of the heart as you allow now this feeling to begin to radiate inside of yourself in every direction. And as you continue to feel this feeling and work with this memory and continue to breathe in and out of the heart, allow me now to speak the following words of prayer on your behalf. In the name of the Father and our universal Mother, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, in the name of the I Am presence of every person here today, of their mighty Christ self, and speaking on their behalf, I now attune and unify my heart to the infinitely loving and ever abundant heart of God. Knowing that where I am, God is, and where God is, I am. My heart unified with the heart of divinity. With every inhale, I draw the nurturing, caring, loving energy that emanates from the heart of God. Allowing this energy now to energize my body, and to bring harmony and order. I am one with the wholeness of God. The wholeness of God, creating greater wholeness within me. I am one with the love of God. The love of God, nurturing every cell, every organ, every aspect of my being. I am one with the abundance of God. The abundance of God, permeating every aspect of my life, opening my eyes to welcoming and receiving more abundance than I ever experienced before. With every breath into my heart, I am now restoring the harmony of my mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual bodies. For it is in God that I live, breathe, and have my being. There's perfect assimilation. There's perfect elimination. There's perfect circulation. Right here and right now, my body's an expression of divine harmony. There's harmony between all cells and all systems. There's perfect communication between all cells. My life is the life of God in flesh. I am the Word incarnate, the divine Spirit of God incarnated in every cell. I rest in this awareness. I rejoice in remembering that this is who I am. Surrendering into this present moment and allowing myself to be filled with the energy of divine love, divine abundance, and divine prosperity. Knowing that I am one with all that my Father has. I am one with all that my mother is. And that right here and right now, all my needs are being met. There's no lack. There's no limitation. Right here and right now. I am becoming open, available, and receptive to new opportunities for abundance to come into my life, to recognize abundance where before I could not see. Recognizing that I live in an infinitely loving and abundant universe. The more I recognize the abundance of the universe, the more abundance comes to me. The more I appreciate the abundance in my life, the more abundance I have to appreciate. I rest in this feeling of abundance within, knowing and trusting that right here and right now, through my connection with my heart, I am unified and connected to the source of all abundance, the place out of which all abundance arises. I allow this feeling of abundance now to radiate from within me, appreciating this abundance. As I see myself now surrounded in this vibration of abundance and prosperity, knowing that I am one with the source of abundance, knowing that all my needs are met here and now. For the next few moments, allow this feeling on vibration of abundance to grow and expand within you. With a deep awareness that right here and right now, all your needs are being met. And that you are one with the source out of which abundance, prosperity, and all materiality comes. Feel appreciation for remembering this truth and this deep knowing. And now begin to expand this field of abundance beyond you, so that you can radiate now this vibration, this feeling of abundance to every person who is here in this circle today, live or anybody else who may be watching the replay. Radiate this feeling of abundance out to Ellen, to Ben, to Cindy, to Amanda, Danny, to Lush, to Peter, to Veronica, and to anyone else who is here with us. Imagining this energy going out and embracing every person here today, as if saying, hey brother, hey sister, you're worthy of this. You don't have to do anything to earn it. You don't have to work harder. You don't have to try harder. Your job is just to recognize that this is your divine inheritance. All that's required is just to actively accept it, embrace it, declare it. If feelings arise of unworthiness, it's okay. They were just absorbed or received by a world that operates on principles of lack and limitation. Let them go. They're not yours. Allow this vibration to go out and embrace everyone here, letting them know You are okay. Who you are is enough. You're worthy of abundance and prosperity and more. Now allow this field to expand even more beyond you, beyond everyone in this virtual circle, and see this wave of abundance and appreciation going out to your family, to your friends, to your loved ones, to those special people in your life, and especially anybody that you are aware of might be going through a difficult and challenging financial time or struggling. Radiate your heart of abundant gratitude and appreciation. Radiate your loving heart that has the capacity to raise anyone who's feeling afraid, who's feeling lack, who's feeling needy, who's operating out of fear and anxiety. Let it go out. Now we expand this field even more to go out beyond our friends and family. We radiate it out now to the world. Letting these feelings of abundance and appreciation radiate out to a world where there are many people experiencing lack, scarcity. Let it all go out, noticing that the more you share this feeling, the more it grows within you, the higher you rise, and the more this feeling is going out into the world, affecting the overall electromagnetic field of the planet and raising the vibrational frequency, helping co-create a world that is based on abundance, cooperation, collaboration, and sharing of resources. As you're feeling this feeling and allowing this radiance to flow from you, affirm to yourself, I now choose to be prosperous in every area of my life. I am worthy of prosperity, abundance, and wealth. I am enough, I do enough, and I have enough. I am now fully aligned with my true source of abundance. Abundance flows from me, and abundance returns to me. Now, from this state of unity between heart and mind, from this vibration of abundance, we ask our hearts a question and stay very attentive and receptive to the answers that may come. My heart, what must I do to create and welcome greater abundance and wealth in my life? My heart, what must I do to create greater wealth and abundance in my life? Heavenly Father and Divine Mother, I thank you for the opportunity to come together in this amazing space in the middle of the week to reconnect with our hearts and through our hearts with the ultimate truth that lives within us, truth of our oneness with Thee. May each person here today experience a greater advancement in their level of prosperity and abundance. May they stay open, available, and receptive to new opportunities that begin to show up in their lives. May any internal, emotional, or energetic blocks that are keeping them from experiencing greater abundance and wealth be dissolved by the power of the resurrected Christ within them, reaffirming what we know in our hearts, that we are one always and have never been separated with the source of our abundance, which is our union with Thee. We ask you, oh Heavenly Father, that you continue to guide each one of our decisions, our choices, and our actions, that we may become a greater and more prosperous version of ourselves, and that we may share this abundance with others and help co-create a world where there's greater abundance, less scarcity, more sharing, more collaboration. For this, I thank you. Surrendering this prayer with gratitude and appreciation, knowing that it's been heard and it's been answered in a way that is perfect and ideal for everyone here today and according to your divine will for each and every one of us. For this and more, I am grateful and thankful, and I let it be. And so it is, and it is so. Amen. Take a moment now to once again to lock in this feeling of what abundance feels like in the body. And if you feel like, and if you're up for it, I'd love it if you can share with me in just one or a few words in the comment section below. How are you feeling right now? Or what are you taking away from the process or what I share here today? One of the things I notice when I go into this place, myself in my daily practice, there's like this incredible sense of spaciousness inside of me. It's like this feeling of openness. One of the things I also notice is that any kind of sense of, I have to do this to make this happen, disappears. And I entered into this kind of flow with life where I can be really present with whatever it is that I'm doing at that moment and have this sense of like absolute presence where something bigger than myself is kind of like guiding me. And this is a place that we want to come to. It is when you're experiencing this sense or this feeling of unity between heart and mind, which is the ability to ultimately rest fully in this present moment and to the wisdom that it's available at any given time, where you can then really, 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 really start then acting from this awareness, this consciousness that ultimately then leads to different conversations in your mind, that then leads to different actions, and then leads ultimately to different results. Amanda says she's feeling empowering. Lush says she's glowing. Yeah, I wish I could see you. Peter's hopeful. Danny says, I'm feeling grateful. All right, wonderful. Well, thank you, those of you who shared your answers. Okay, wonderful. Well, for those of you who came in late, I wanted to remind you once again that registration is now open for a 3-hour workshop I'm going to be teaching on November 12th called The Heart of Money, where we're going to be looking at all the inner blocks to creating prosperity and wealth in our lives. If you're interested in learning more about this workshop, you can go to my website, gabrielgonzalez.com/money. Okay, and then next week, as we continue on this path of or towards a more prosperous you, I'm going to be sharing some of Jesus's teaching about wealth. Okay, so you're not going to want to miss next week's conversation, because I'll be sharing some of the things that are obviously in the most common read Gospels, but I'm also going to be sharing what Jesus wrote or said that has been transcribed in the Gnostic Gospel, specifically in the Gospel of Thomas. All right, so that'll be coming up next week. All right, my beautiful friends, thank you very much for being here with me today, for hanging out and with me in this midweek appointment of the heart. I really appreciate your commitment, your constancy together every week. We're making a big difference in ourselves, in the lives of the people that we love, and in the world. Though we may not necessarily be able to see the impact right away, please know that it is happening, because that is the power of a small group of people who bring their hearts together for a common intention and for a common goal. So until the next time that we meet, please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye-bye for now. Thank you for joining me in this week's Heartstream. I hope you're walking away feeling more connected to yourself and your divinity, to the planet, to others, and to all of life. Please be sure to subscribe so that you can receive notifications about upcoming broadcasts. And if you would like to sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, or register for my upcoming trainings and seminars, be sure to visit my website, gabrielgonzalez.com. Until the next time, please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye for now.